All right, so we kind of want to do a little bit of a player profile right now on a guy who could potentially be on an MLB team at the start of the season. He could potentially not, though. He's coming over from Japan, Seiya Suzuki. He's a superstar over there, but he only has a certain amount of time where he can sign. And I believe that if the lockout is still happening, that time could be up by sometime in February, and he may not be able to come over here yet. But that doesn't mean he never will. He could the next season. So I kind of
Right.
just want to dive into what we could expect from him, and I kind of want to look at like some stats from other great Japanese hitters. But if you look at like Japanese players that have come over here, the majority of the time, the really, really good players are pitchers, whether
Okay.
it's Daisuke Matsuzaka or Yu Darvish or guys like that. Hideo Nomo, I believe, was from Japan. And then you look at the hitters. I mean, honestly, there are arguably only like four really, really good hitters from Japan in the entire time they've come over here.
Mm.
Obviously, number one is Ichiro. He's the
Yeah.
best one. He's probably the best pure hitter ever, I would say, that we've
Yeah, that's
seen.
fair.
I mean, man, this dude played in the MLB 14 years with Seattle, then 3 years with us with the Yanks, and then 3 years with the Marlins. Plus all the years he played in Japan. I believe he played in the States until he was like 45, I think.
He was
So that's just
old. Yeah.
insane. I mean, he got 3,000 hits in the States. Overall, he had over 4,000 hits,
I was
including his
about to
Japanese
say,
hits.
that's crazy, man.
Um, I mean, he got his 3,000th hit with the Marlins. I think he was like 42 or 43. So that's just nuts to me. I mean, he was a career 311 hitter. The dude was just a stud. Defensively,
Yeah.
too. We've all seen the plays, the throws from right field and stuff. He's won the MVP, Rookie of the Year. He was a 10-time Gold Glove winner, 10-time All Star. The list goes on and on for Ichiro, and he's a Hall of Famer. So obviously, he's the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Um, I think, though, the next best guy, as of now, although it could be Shohei Ohtani pretty soon, but the next best guy is Hideki Matsui.
Mm.
Obviously, he played a lot with us, 7 years with the Yanks. Then he had several different years with the Angels, the A's, and then the Rays. But man, he had over 1,000 hits here. He had a career 282 batting average, 175 home runs. Um, I mean, you look at his playoff numbers with the Yanks. He helped us win that World Series back in '09. He
Right.
hit 312 in the playoffs for us, 10 homers, 933 OPS career in the playoffs. He was a World Series champion. He was
Wow.
also
That's
the
pretty
World
good.
Series. Yeah, I mean, the dude had ice water in his veins when it came to October baseball.
Yeah.
He was the World Series MVP in 2009 also when we beat the Phillies. So, I mean, honestly, if you just look at his postseason numbers alone, he was amazing. And then I think Shohei Ohtani is probably the next best guy already, and he's only played 4 seasons here.
Mm.
I mean, I'm just going to look at his hitting stats. Obviously, his pitching stats are amazing as well, but he has 93 homers already here, an 890 career OPS, 55 stolen bases. That's far and away. He's probably going to have, I don't know, let's say like 400 stolen bases at least over his career, I would assume, something like that.
Mm.
Um, I mean, the dude is just a beast. He just won the MVP. He won the Rookie of the Year when he first came over. He was an All Star for the first time this year. He also won the Silver Slugger.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's just going to keep getting better, and it's going to be fun to watch him. And another guy, probably a little less well known, but he did have some good seasons. Nori Aoki played with a bunch of different teams. He played with the Brewers, with the Royals, Giants, a bunch of other
Mm.
teams. Um, and he was a career 285 hitter here. He had 98 stolen bases, 33 career home runs, so not a lot, but he was more of an on base guy. So but he had some great seasons, and he was with the Royals. I remember he had a big hit in like the 2014 wild card game in that crazy game against the A's when it went
Yeah.
like extra
Yeah.
innings. So like he's had some moments that you can remember, and he was a pretty good hitter too. But man, other than that, the list is really short for players who have translated into really good MLB hitters. And I mean, guys recently, even some guys that are playing now that are known that are like people are probably familiar with them. Yoshi Tsutsugo is on the Pirates. He had some play with the Rays when they made it to the World Series against the Dodgers in 2020. Shogo Akiyama is currently on the Reds, and Muneniri Kawasaki played with the Blue Jays for a while. He's not currently playing anymore, but
yeah,
these are guys who have probably had mediocre success at best. Obviously, Satsugo and Akiyama could all of a sudden have great years. You know, you never know what's going to happen, but they just
yeah.
haven't yet. So to me, it's like it's hard to predict what to expect from Seiya Suzuki. Obviously, he's a superstar over there, but it's tough to really predict it.
Right. Like I guess the level of pitching is just different over here, so it's hard to adjust when you're over.
Yeah.
I'm curious too, like so Suzuki's 27 right now. Is that
Mhm.
is that about normal age for a Japanese player to come over? It seems a little
I
old
think
to me.
no, it's about normal. I believe
Normal,
that that's
yeah.
around when Ichiro came over because remember he had
Uh,
already had over like 1,000 hits in Japan when he
right,
came over
okay.
here, and I think that's why it took him so long to get to 3,000 here because he came over when he was like 27-ish. I think maybe a little bit younger, maybe 26. I don't know, but I think it's
Yeah.
about right because like Matsui played 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons here, and I think he retired when he was around 38 or 39.
Yeah.
So I think it's about normal. Honestly, it's kind of strange,
Hmm.
but they have a posting period there where like they have to play a certain amount of games in the Japanese league until they can come here. I think or
Gotcha.
something.
Okay.
And
I
I
was
think
curious what
like
the criteria for
yeah,
that was. Yeah.
like it's not like other countries where they can just come here right away. I think they have to play because of however their league is set up.
Okay.
Because I think the teams that they play for get paid some of their contract money when they come to the states. It's kind of a
Hmm.
weird system, honestly.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh.
But yeah, I mean, looking at like Suzuki's numbers over there in the NPB, he's had 9 seasons. And he's a career 309 hitter. He has 189 career homers, 943 career OPS, and 102 stolen bases. So he'll get you some stolen
Hmm.
bases too. I think that's something that'll obviously translate. Um, I mean, apparently he's a really great defender as well. A lot of teams are
Okay.
even looking at him to come over and play center field. He can play all three outfield positions. And he's played 73 career games at third base, so not a ton, but it's good to know you can throw him in there if you have to.
Yeah. Huh.
But I mean, to me, it's like a lot of people are comparing him. I've heard comparisons to Ronald Acuna Jr., which are very high comparisons.
That's a
And
very
like,
high bar to set
and
there.
you know what? It like to me, it's like I want him to be that guy. That would be awesome. But like,
Yeah.
is it like are we putting too much on him? Like he might not be that guy just because of what you said about the pitching. It's definitely different here compared to there.
Yeah, like yeah, that seems a little high, I guess. Yeah, I'm curious. Like, do you look at the stats differently because of the history of like not a lot of successful like Japanese born players in MLB, or like does that not matter? Like, is that almost like unfair to put on them? Hmm.
Right. And I mean, like when you look at like a lot of teams, like first of all, I would love for him to go to a playoff team because I feel like sometimes Japanese players come over here. We've seen it with Otani or with Ichiro. I know they made the playoffs
Yeah.
the first year Ichiro was here, but then the Mariners haven't made the playoffs since, and the Angels obviously haven't done anything. So I mean, Matsui came over and came to the Yankees. Not saying that he should just come to the Yankees, but like Matsui came over and was in the playoffs almost every season with us until
Right.
he
Right.
went to the Angels. So I feel like he should look at that, but I also don't know like should our teams going to be like hesitant with their money, do you think? Like the amount of money they're going to give him? Because I don't think he's going to get like a huge contract. I don't know
Probably
what they're going
not.
to look at.
Yeah,
Like
maybe
I
like a 5 year deal or so. And
yeah.
granted, I can think of plenty instances where like um players will come from Latin American countries and like struggle too. Remember like Rusney Castillo? Remember he
Yeah,
came he won
yeah,
the Red Sox for like 60 million or something, and he just like could
yeah,
not play.
yeah,
So
definitely.
I mean, it happens. I guess sometimes you just can't
Yeah,
adjust, but
because like again, if I've heard Japanese players talk about it. Like Ichiro talked about it in several interviews that like when you come here, guys throw harder and everyone throws harder. It's like
Okay.
everyone throws close to 100. Everyone has these great curveballs or whatever. Like they're he also said that actually the size is a big difference of the people. Like the
Oh.
players, whether they're from America or Latin countries or wherever they're from, he said like a lot of players are a lot bigger here.
Oh,
So
okay,
like
okay.
they can, I mean, it's like whether you're in the field or whatever the case is, he's like it's more intimidating when you're hitting. I've heard guys say too because the pitchers are
Hmm.
taller, so it's a little bit of a different look. I don't know. I really hope that he's a good fit here. I hope that he signs, first of all. I hope the lockout ends and we don't have to wait another year to see him because a lot of people are talking about him a lot. I mean, there are some teams that he would obviously be a fit for, including the Yankees. Actually, we've apparently were looking at him before the lockout happened to fill in at
Okay.
center field and maybe move Hicks or something. But again, I would kind of be like, is that really the answer? Like, if he's really good, that is the answer. But if you give him a big ass contract and then all of a sudden he doesn't live up to the hype, I don't know if teams
Yeah.
can take
I guess
that
there's an
right
element
now.
of risk to it. Yeah. I just hope his what do you call it, his signing period doesn't
I know.
pass during the lockout too.
Yeah, I hope, man. I know because I don't want to wait another season just to because then he's going to be 28. It's like it's not fair to him either,
Right.
honestly, because then he won't get paid as much money down the road if he is good because then he'll be well, if he gets a 5 year deal, it'll be what, 32, 33. A lot of guys aren't
Yeah.
getting paid that much then. Obviously, the Mets just signed Marte, but still, that's a little bit of a different scenario. So I don't
Yeah.
know. It's definitely an interesting case though. And I really hope for the best for him. I hope he gets to sign with the team and we really see what he can do because like for anyone international, MLB is like the highest stage you can get. And
Hmm.
everyone wants to come and play here to really see what they can do and show what they can do. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Hopefully he's like the next great Japanese hitter and he's on this list, you know?
Yeah. Well, okay. One little side note to cap this up. I'm thinking about Ichiro. Did he ever play like meaningful baseball, like in the playoffs? I'm trying
So
to think
yeah,
back to like
in
Seattle.
in his first season in 2001, Seattle made it to the ALCS because they beat the Yankees in the
Right.
ALDS. That was the year that like Edgar had that big hit, I think, in Game Five, and Griffey scored in
Okay.
Seattle. Ichiro was on that team, or no, I don't know if that was the same year. Actually, that might have been the '90s, but I know Ichiro was in the playoffs in 2001, but they didn't make it past the DS, I
Yeah, I
think.
just I can't remember really seeing him on the big stage a lot, which kind of sucks
Yeah, I
because
know.
he was there for so
He
long.
Yeah, I know he played 2 years with the playoffs with the Yankees too,
Right,
um,
right.
or maybe only one season. I don't know. He was here for like a year, 2.5 years, I think,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I don't know whatever it was, but like he wasn't the same player, obviously, with us that he was with Seattle. So it would have been nice to see him in the playoffs more when he was younger. But he,
yeah.
honestly, if you look back at his playoff numbers, though, they were like really good. In
Hmm.
his career postseason stats, I think he hit 346. He had like an 836 OPS. So he played really well when he did play in the playoffs. It just was a shame that
Dang.
we didn't get to see him more, you know.
Right, it's almost like
Hopefully
a
the same
Trout
thing.
situation at this point.
I know, like I hope it doesn't happen with Otani because I want to see him in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
one
Yeah.
day they'll get there one day.